Hi everyone, welcome back to the Purple House Facebook Live. Piet and Grady here, the co-owners of the Purple House Wellness Center, and I want to ask Piet a question today. We always work together, we see different clients with different problems. Peter is passionate about checking into the cell health of your body, like the cellular level. So are you ready, Piet? Can I ask you a question today? Yeah, I'm going to pick his brain. So Piet, you know how there are people out there, and at the end of the day, when they take off their socks, they have this like rim, big rim left, an indent in their ankles, like just above their ankles. And other people, you know how there are people who wake up in the morning and they have aches, or sometimes they even wake up in the middle of the night and their wrists are hurting and their fingers are all puffy, right? So their fingers are puffier than in the morning. So you know how there's lots of people like that, and this is one thing I've noticed. More and more younger people are complaining about that kind of thing. So like puffy ankles and swollen fingers. And I just actually want to know how that relates to your health. Okay. And what can they do about it? So
the first thing I would recommend those people do is have an enzyme with every meal, because quite often proteins aren't being broken down properly, or the digestive system isn't working properly, proteins aren't breaking down properly. They go into the bloodstream undigested or partially undigested, then they go out into the tissues and draw water with them.
Okay.
And that water, which is floating around in the lymphatic system, is what drops down to with gravity to the feet during the daytime, and ankles and whatever swell up. Then during the night time, we put our feet up and that redistributes throughout the body and starts swelling the fingers and hands up, and can cause carpal tunnel. It can cause full bladders at night time, so people have to get up and woken up with a full bladder and things like that.
Okay.
So an enzyme at mealtime helps the digestive system break down every type of food, so we get all the nutrients from it, but also helps break down the proteins. And the other thing I'd recommend is to get the bile flow going, so the liver gets rid of the waste properly, so that waste isn't floating around drawing water to it. And the beet flow, we need that bile also to help digest properly. So the beet flow opens up the bile duct, so the bile will flow properly, so the liver can get rid of the waste out of the body. That waste is also needed to digest the fats, and also neutralises the stomach contents, the acid content, into a neutral pH, so the small bowel's nice and happy. And those two things will go a long way to getting rid of that waste fluid out of your system.
Would it also help, you know how there are lots of women who complain about cellulite and that kind of stuff in your legs?
It could well do, because what I also recommend is people get rid of, get their energy from
fats.
Rather than sugars. So,
but while they're still transitioning, and you know, if some people are not willing to change anything about their diet, and but they are experiencing like puffiness and swollen. I've had young girls, you know, who complain about so much fluid buildup in their legs and it makes them feel fat. So would the same thing work for them?
Well, yeah, of course it would, because if it's fluid in the interstitial or the extracellular compartment, which is the same as the lymphatic, then that would be also helpful for them. Another thing is, quite often fluid isn't absorbed into cells properly due to lack of minerals and trace minerals. So Himalayan salt's got all the minerals and trace minerals in that your body needs, and we need a quarter teaspoon of that for every litre of water we drink. And that goes into the cells and draws the water into the cells. So it's not in that lymphatic system causing swelling.
That's right, because when people have like swollen legs and their limbs are swollen, they think, oh, I've got too much water on board, like, but the actual fact is this true. So the water, they have too much water on board, but it's not inside the cells,
No.
it's like all around the cells. So could it be true that the actual cells are still dehydrated?
Yeah,
And,
of course. They,
and it's like they're drowning, they're flooded by water, but the water isn't going in. So it's like a double whammy really
Right.
to the system, isn't
Yeah.
it? So like, if people, or all these people with the, you know, puffy, swollen ankles and so on, because, so this would help them as well.
yeah,
Of course, movement, you already hear that, but people come to us often, they've already tried things like going to the gym, have movement and all the rest. Most people, by the way, don't drink enough water, and they definitely don't have enough minerals in the body. So often when people start to drink more water and have like salt water, by the way, because they feel better straight away, and they find that the water will act, the puffiness won't be so bad, so that disappears a little bit. Also,
their energy levels will increase as well. Yeah.
because if you think about it, if you feel really tired and really, really ill, and you go to the hospital and you're so ill that they keep you there, often while you're under observation, they will hook you up to a saline drip, which is basically a bag of salt water, which then goes straight into your body. And often people feel 100% better already just from having that salt water in their body. So that's definitely key, number one, isn't it? And I've seen people really change with enzymes, so just having enzymes every single day, like 3 times a day with your meals to help you digest all your proteins. So that means you don't have any protein waste or sludge in your body, and the sludge attracts the water too, like what Peter already explained.
So get your liver getting rid of that sludge or the waste.
So what about the question I have for you about aluminium in deodorants? How does that, which like most commercial deodorants contain aluminium, and people, they happily, you know, everyone is killing themselves with store-bought commercial deodorants, which are full of toxins and full of aluminium.
Aluminium causes solids in a solution to clump together. So
they use it in waste.
They use it in
just tell us about that?
Sewage ponds. So they throw aluminium sulfate, I think it is, into sewage ponds, and all the solids clump together, they scoop it off, and
they float to the top,
left with the water. Our blood is solids in a solution. We've got our cells floating around in plasma, and aluminium will cause all those little red cells to start clumping, sticking together. And ideally, we'd have those nicely separated. They would be isolated from one another. They can take the oxygen to the tissues, then they can, and one key to ideal health is having those red cells nicely isolated from one another. So avoid aluminium wherever possible.
Also aluminium foil, aluminium is in lots of things, by the way, which is
and acids are full of aluminium.
And it also, there's a correlation between aluminium and Alzheimer, and aluminium and damage to your nervous system. So it's
it may be that your brain's just not getting oxygen because the red cells are all stuck together and unable to transport the oxygen around. So
other than drinking water, having salt, having enzymes and beach flow, and also move your legs and arms around, of course, you know, if you're sedentary, do have a little bit more movement. What else? And avoiding aluminium, like, because these are all things that cause swelling in the tissues. What else do you recommend?
Well, magnesium is always a go-to because it is alkalizing, and quite often inflammation in the body is caused through acidic acid. So if we alkalize our system and get it nice and relaxed, and it also helps get calcium into the bone, so it prevents calcifications. So we recommend people use magnesium to the point where, take it orally to the point where their bowels are nicely balanced.
Well, to the point where you get diarrhea, then you know you've had enough, and then you know, okay.
Or a little bit too much.
Yeah, I had a little bit too much, and then now I'm gonna have 1 tablet less or a teaspoon less. So our grandchildren grew up and we've got 15 grandchildren. So when they were little babies, some of the little babies didn't sleep well, or they were very tense. You can tell some babies are very tense. They're born with a lot of tension in their body, and other babies are more floppy, right? So some of our grandkids were given a little teaspoon of magnesium almost right from birth, and then that would help them sleep better. So it's very, very safe. Swelling in the tissues is a lack of minerals and water and all the rest, but it's also a sign of inflammation in your body. So inflammation stands for inflame, which means fire, and aging, it's a combination of the both. So inflammation always means that you're speeding up the aging process, and we are here to do the opposite. Like Peter and I want you to help to do the reverse, so like reverse aging and help your body to rejuvenate. We don't want to speed up the aging process. So that's why we show up every week with like short little YouTubes, and there's an article here today as well. So read back through the articles, go to our website where we have lots and lots of articles and free videos, and also our online shop is open, of course, 24/7. We are open to seeing clients 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. So a healing session where we tune you up, like we give your body a tune up, is also really beneficial, because straight away it shifts all those toxic chemicals from your body literally instantly. Don't ask me how it works, but it works. It's called energetic healing. I mean, there's lots of science now to back it up. Everyone knows about it. Also, I want you to know that Pete and I work together with other, we work together with doctors, with the medical world, and with physiotherapists and chiropractors. So together we make a really, really good team, right? So we like to work together with all people from all walks of life and all backgrounds to fill in the blanks. So we are here to fill in the blanks. So is there anything we've forgotten?
I don't think so.
Of course, we always go on about reducing your carbohydrates, so everyone already knows that. That means like reduce your grains, reduce pasta, rice, all the yummies.
One way to
reduce sugar, reduce bread.
Yeah, dump those undigested protein waste out of your lymphatic system, out of your tissues, is cutting out high starch carbohydrates and sugars.
And if that's too much,
your body will use up the waste.
Yeah. And so if that's too drastic for you to start with, just don't have any carbs at all after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that can be a starting point. And once you're used to that, you just lower your carb intake drastically.
And increase your good fat and oil content in your diet, because that's where you would ideally be getting your fuel energy from.
Yeah. So good fats are like coconut oil, macadamia nut oil, buttercream and meat fats, basically. That's put in a nutshell. Anyway, thank you for listening and tuning in. Reach out to us if you have these problems, if it sounds familiar to you, if you know of anyone who is experiencing swelling, and because of course we know that it's putting pressure on your kidneys, and people's kidneys often suffer for 10 years before they have a heart attack, right?
And it's kidneys working overtime that puts blood pressures up.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's like early warning signs, and thankfully your body is here to reverse all of that. So thanks everyone, big hug from us, and see you next week. Bye.